Back in the auth.js file in the actions folder, we already outsourced quite a lot of logic into the saga folder, into the sagas we created, and therefore we got a very lean action creator file here already, where I no longer even need to import Axios. We can remove that import. And now we only have action creators that return actions. They really do just that. They create actions. Well, with one exception. At the very bottom of this file, we got the authcheckstate action creator, which we execute at the time our application starts to see if we can log the user in automatically. This should also go into a saga. So last but not least, let's add this saga here too. I'll name it, just as we named the action creator, authcheckstate saga here. So I'll name it authcheckstate saga. That's the name. Receive my action here as an argument. And I will again copy all the code from my auth.js file in the actions folder and replace it step by step. So what do we do here? We get the token from local storage. I'll add yield in here too, as I do for all steps I execute in my sagas. So now we get the token. That is a synchronous task here though. I then check if the token does really exist, and if it doesn't, I of course don't want to dispatch logout here. I'll put actions logout to basically dispatch this, and I will add yield here too. Now the next thing we do is, if we have a valid token, we check the expiration date we calculated. I'll also yield that. And then if this is, well, earlier than our current date, I also want to yield put logout because we have an invalid valid expiration date. Else, I will get the user ID from local storage and also yield that. And then we were successful, so here I will yield put of success and pass on token and user ID. However, here both there and of success should be accessed on the actions object we import to use these action creators. And I also want to yield put actions check off timeout, referring to this action creator, which, well, returns this off checkout timeout action, which in turn will trigger another saga. This is actually all. These are all the changes we need. That's my authcheckstate saga. Now we want to hook this up and make sure that this gets executed at the time we start the application. For this, I'll go to the auth.js action creator file and return all the code in this function there. I don't need it anymore. Instead, here I simply want to return my action object, and I will create a new action type for this. I'll name it authcheckInitialState, for example. The name, of course, is totally up to you. Use that here too. Or maybe not, let's just name it authcheckstate to be more in line with our action creator name. So authcheckstate. And then down there, I'll return my action of type action types authcheckstate. And I don't need to pass any arguments or anything with that action. This now should trigger my authcheckstate saga here. And to enable it to do so, I need to set up a listener in the index.js file. There I will yield take every for action types authcheckstate and import my newly created authcheckstate saga, which I will execute once this action type is detected. Let's save all files we changed. Let's go back and reload the application. We see auth success, so it did log in us automatically successfully. Let's now log out and reload again. And now you see still it initiates the check state call here, but then initiates logout because it doesn't find a valid token and so on. So now we replaced all the side effects we handled in the auth.js action creator file with code in our saga file. These sagas are executed due to our listeners, our watchers here, which in turn is executed here in the index.js file where we run it on our Saga middleware. And with that, we made redux func totally redundant for the auth part of our application. Now, to be able to totally remove it, we of course also need to make it redundant for the burger builder part and the order part. And this would already be a great practice for you. So if you feel like it, definitely try this on your own. Try adding more sagas, maybe in new files, set up watchers, and replace the code you have in burger builder.js in the actions folder and in order.js in the actions folder with Saga code to outsource all your side effects into sagas. We'll do this together, starting with the next video.